when you are a great basketball player, you're a great basketball player in a plantation owned by your enemy, and you're a rich slave. Did you see the brothers running up and down trying to make it into the NFL? Well, what was that? That's like your great-great-grandfather standing on an auction block. Show me your muscle. Oh, this is a strong. And you run around, squeeze his behind, and look at his muscle. Oh, how much can I get for this?
Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Sports. I am your host.
I used to love.
It is important for people to go back and invest in your neighborhood.
Ronnie Chambers, this is my coach Derek Rodriguez out of A&B Boxing. We're on Let's Talk Sport Nation.
PS, and we on Let's Talk Sports Nation.
You know what it is, man. This is Let's Talk Sports Nation.
If you come from a neighborhood that's impoverished and you get an opportunity and you make some success, invest in your neighborhood. Your government's not.
Other professional athletes earlier, the Bill Russells, the Muhammad Alis, the Jim Browns of the world, were saying, look, if you got millions and I got millions, millions on top of millions eventually makes billions. And then you start to talk about economic power. You start to talk about economic freedom. You start to talk about self-reliance. You start to talk about things that matter, as opposed to, okay, like he said, I opened up a basketball court. I opened up a gym. I opened up, I have a restaurant. I put people employed. You can employ entire communities with collective reasoning, and that's where he was going with it.
Farrakhan got money just like them,
No
maybe
question.
even more.
No question.
You don't see him doing nothing in no community unless you're dealing with his nation.
You're absolutely right. I don't disagree
you know
with you.
What I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100. He's not doing anything in no community. You don't see him showing up when Mario Woods got killed. And you don't see him showing up nowhere. But he want to get out here and talk about slavery when you playing basketball. No. Because you can't compare it to slavery because slaves didn't get paid.
Right. To that, and I don't disagree with you at all in that regard. What I was listening to was the message, not the messenger, and so the one thing, and you're absolutely right. I don't ever see this guy anywhere, right? But what did have a point was the sum of the parts is greater than the individual parts.
It's capitalistic views. So you more of a slave to the money. And black people, we rely on sports and entertainment to, quote unquote, get us out the ghetto. And being that sports is part of the entertainment business, we invest, we teach our kids to invest, and it's kind of coming from the view you can't beat them, join them. So their money is already established. It's old money. It's the state. You might got a basketball or football team, but then you got the same people who own Johnson & Johnson or Microsoft
or
and all
course.
that. So they using
Craft.
they floating money constantly.
Craft.
The millions that they making is that giving us is pennies. But at the same time, they're not going to work their whole life and say, no, we don't want these pennies. Or they're not going to work their whole life and take their whole fortune or whatever they amass and give it to their whole community. The stuff that they give to the neighborhoods or the community is them basically saying, instead of it go to Uncle Sam, I want to make sure this get built, this center or these jerseys get gave to these kids. And it sound good. Oh, let's pull all our money together and start. But then you gotta take into account the egos that come with the money. And a lot of people, once they make $1 million, you can't tell them nothing.
True that.
And ain't no coming together. They the king of their own chessboard.
Now, Boone, I'm going somewhere based off what he said off conversations we didn't have, right? Mm-hmm. Slavery was 500 years. I know you've been married before.
I really wasn't 500 years. But.
Well, you gotta throw segregation as part of the movement,
Okay.
Right,
and
right.
it didn't end just because they passed the law.
Right.
Now I'm gonna ask you guys, how long does it take to recover? What's the therapeutic backlash from going through slavery?
Oh, if you ask me, that's something that still has. That's the elephant in the room.
Right.
That's the elephant in the room, because one of the things that you and I talked about, I will never ever say get over it. I will never ever say that it should not be remembered. But I don't want to live there because for two reasons. One, I wasn't born 500 years ago. But two, and for me more importantly, we owe the ancestors. We owe them to be better because of the hell that they went through to get there. We are the remnants, the survivors of that hell, and we owe it to them to be better than to open up those endless possibilities. Now, I'm not telling you the struggle isn't real. It's a struggle, but it's the elephant in the room on how to recover. How do we recover? That's actually the thing that we don't talk about, recovery and moving forward.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the thing we don't talk about.
Mel, I want to ask you this question. What is recovery? Where are we now, and where do we trying to get to it?
Well, if you look at like most of the owners, and some of them that's generational wealth, some of them are self-made billionaires. You look at somebody like Donald Sterling. He amassed millions and turned it into billions.
Right.
A number of these athletes, they get millions of dollars of checks. 80% of them go broke.
Right.
They don't have nothing to pass down to their children. You look at the 49ers. Who's running the 49ers? Jed York.
Right.
His daddy owned the team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then here's another thing.
He owned. Everybody's on.
How many Jordans and Magic Johnsons do you have? When I think about it, I can only think about one sport that has black men like that. And Isaiah Thomas. Those are guys that's like got generational wealth.
Right.
Puffy Combs, he said, I'm not just trying to make sure my kids gonna eat. I'm trying to make sure my kids gonna eat.
Right.
So.
And with that being said, man, we on fire. Obviously how it start. We usually come with the intro. So I want to get it going. To my far left, we got Jamil, the
number one neighborhood sports analyst. I said it
his name
slower.
every 2 weeks.
No, I just changed my pitch.
Right. And to my close left is a mentor of mine. I call him the teacher, aka Tony Boone.
I never let a statue tell me how nice I am. Rest in peace, Fife Diggy.
Oh yeah.
Rest in peace, Fife.
And to my right, somebody I'm forever indebted to. I didn't realize we so close in age, but my ex-football coach and still my mentor. I got Big Fridge in the house.
I'm in the building, man. Let's Talk Sports. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook.
YouTube. Hey, see, he hella cool. That's why his nickname is Fridge.
That's a good one.
Hey, Chabot College had myself, Filthy Rich, and this guy, Danny Sabrini, all at the
Sobrante,
same time.
right?
Yeah, I'm from Sobrani Park, man.
Sobrani,
I'm Danny from Sobrani.
And also one of the
Society.
dopest MCs in the Bay Area. And he got a song. I heard it, man. He was on with one of my new favorite rapper is Mozzie and Juice. I said that's Danny on there. He had the hardest verse on there that was even better than Mozzie.
Hey, my man, I'm building still. You know what I'm saying? I'm nobody who know a little bit. You feel
Right.
me?
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But one thing I remember about
keep it
this
together.
guy is he was always a wise guy, and he was ahead of the game, even back at Chabot. So I just imagine where he's going now.
It's real. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Hey, so I want to tap into a few topics, right? Including something you guys kind of went back and forth with on Facebook. But I want to go with this LeBron. In the last week, he's unfollowed the Cavs. We seen his tweets. Now he's saying he want to play with his friends. Is his we talked about this too. Is his self-proclaimed leadership phony?
I'm gonna let somebody else know.
I mean, off the court, I kind of don't. I think it's brilliant. to be politicking like that and bringing guys together. But just as a sports fan that I am, it's just like Magic, like Michael said, man, I wasn't trying to play with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson to win my championships. I was trying to beat them, you know. So, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, who else was he? All those guys on there.
Yeah, he had Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. I mean, do you really want to see something like that? Like, that ain't really fair. So that's like, not even on my most favoriteest team, I don't want to see that.
I was always trained to play the best, to be the best, you got to beat the best. You got to beat who's in front of you. Is his leadership phony? He unfollowed. I guess he does this every year. He unfollow. He gets on social. He has a social media blackout when it gets close to the playoffs. That was his whole thing.
That's how you lock in.
You know, so he could lock in. Is his leadership phony? I don't know. I think he's more concerned. Again, he's not. We have a vision of what a leader looks like, and he's not demonstrating that. He's not fitting in that mold. And everybody has the wish to play with their friends. I never wanted to play with my friends. I wanted to beat them. I wanted to compete against them. Right? Because half of them were better than me. So I wanted to get good. I had to beat them. So the question is, his leadership phony? I don't know. That remains to be seen. I just want to see what happens.
When you reach a certain pinnacle in your career, LeBron about 13 years in?
Yeah.
All he want to do is win. But off the court, you want to have fun with your teammates.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you want to chop it up. You want to, it's a certain level you could communicate with your teammates. Maybe he's not getting that with Kyrie. Kyrie only 24.
Right.
Different
Love.
age,
I mean, no, I'm not trying to be racist, but he's not African American, so he may not, they may not have too much in common.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So him wanting to play with his friends, I may understand that. I mean, the Warriors is dominant right now. It ain't too many teams that can match up.
I'm gonna tell you like this. When you playing professional sports, it's about culture. That's what win championships. That culture that's built in the locker room.
Chemistry.
Media come in and like we got our opinions or whatever. If he wasn't the greatest player in the world, we wouldn't care. Right. We're not talking about Dwight Howard no more because he put the stick on his hands.
Right.
If you notice, sometimes they get irritated with certain questions. You see Russell Westbrook face when he was like, these is young black millionaires that got millions. They grew up in the hip hop generation where they care about what they care about and they don't care about what they don't care about. Right. So us saying it's like LeBron got talked to, quote unquote, yesterday for going out. They down by 20 at halftime and he talking to the other team, and it's like, man, you supposed to be shooting around with your team. And then there's some players, like I watched a dude who got traded from one team and he went to another team. He played for the Pelicans. He got traded. They played against the team that traded him. And he went at him the whole game. When the ball gets shot, when they blow the whistle, he grabbing the shot off the rim. He give me this, doing little Patrick Beverly knick-knack, penny and stuff that like bother you. But it's a competitive nature. It's a spirit. And if you got it, you got it. If you don't, sometimes people feel like LeBron care too much about what people think about him. He want to impress. He got to impress his sponsors. You got to conduct yourself a certain way to make everybody happy. If you can't make your money being who you is, playing the game that you love to play, then you almost a lost soul.
That's Alex Rodriguez in a nutshell, right there.
Hey, now let me ask you this question. Now, by saying this type of stuff, right? Because I take credit for being the first one to call he was leaving Miami. By things he say. You watch words, what people say. Is he preparing the city of Cleveland for another disappointment?
Wow.
I would hope not. I mean, that would be, anything's possible. I mean, he's used to doing it. That's a strong possibility. He's already talking about these guys he want to pair with. One thing I do got to say is about LeBron is I don't know. It's just certain things I don't like.
Like what? Name one.
Like when y'all lost to the Spurs, man, and you sitting up there having fun with Tim Duncan and they just beat you, man. I just don't like that.
Well, he also represents the AAU era, right?
Well,
Nah, they right after the game, man.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you, LeBron right now. He went to Cleveland and he making $30 million. Like literally speaking, technically, LeBron, if he's worth $69 million a year. If you consider all the revenue he bring to the city, all the revenue he bring in the other cities that he play in.
Right.
When you making money like that, everybody attacking it. They looking to attack your money. They don't publicize what the owners make or what the general managers make or none of none of that stuff.
It's going back to the first time.
LeBron though, I feel like he get too much attention. Steph Curry, I'm watching Steph Curry. I'm watching how his interviews are starting to change. He's not as enthused as much because you find yourself saying the same thing over and over. And when you talk about this AAU era, this hip hop era, it's kind of like I'm not against homosexuals or nothing, but I don't know too many straight men that went to college with us or whatever and went to get a journalism degree. Right. So when they go up on these podiums and they relaying themselves to us, which is the people through these media outlets, they dealing with a lot of girls and homosexual men with a recorder in their face asking them weird questions that like who would ask me this in the first place? And I got other choice words, but that's just part of how I grew up and whatever. I'm not against them people.
That's a whole nother topic too. I'm not even segue, but nah, because there's another sports program. It's on the NBA channel. And I'm looking at all these guys that's commentating, and they all kind of got English accents, and I'm like, what you know about hoops?
You talking about probably the starters or something?
Starters, yeah. I'm like, wow, and I'm just thinking, okay, just imagine if it was like guys like us who was running that show, talking about sports and things. But then, I think on another end, because let's kind of get to the heart of the matter on another heart. A lot of dudes I grew up with was creative writers. Mm-hmm. They became rappers and stuff. But then there's a lot of dudes I know, they could write some stuff, man. So they could have been journalists, and things like that. But nobody ever really told them, man, you got this angle. You can move this angle. Like one of my cousins, he's somebody, he been in the streets his whole life or whatever. He got real talent at drawing. And I was like, man, you need to work that today. Now he's 40. But, we work together, but I see him every day working on that drawing.
Well, Jeremiah talking about the AAU era. The NBA is changing, and it's going to change. And I guarantee you in the next 5 years, the NBA is going to be, how the first pick always be a brother early. Yeah, that's done deal. They're about to be bringing in these people from Europe, these people who could shoot the basketball.
And they got less ego.
The game, the way the rules changed, the way they want the game to go back to how it was in 1988, where they were shooting jumpers with Larry Bird and all them. You got the Warriors. People are going to now try and match the Warriors. They're going to try and shoot. They're going to try and get players that could shoot the basketball. A lot of young African American males.
The Euro game.
Yeah, a lot of young African American males. They're very athletic, but they lack in the shooting. 3-point.
I had this thought the other day, and I might be the only one in this panel old enough to remember this, because what I'm seeing now is the ABA on steroids. The ABA was a run and gun league. These guys used to fly up and down the court. It was not uncommon for a score in regular time to be 148 to 144. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, and everybody with that funny red, white, and blue ball. But there's George Gervin came from the ABA.
That was a fun league, man.
David Thompson came from the ABA.
Dr. J
was telling them.
That was the ABA.
That's the greatest to you?
To me, that's my Michael Jordan. Dr. J is my guy.
On the same birthday, 22.
Listen to this. Basketball First of all, is the entertainment business. They get these big lucrative TV deals. TV means ratings. Ratings come with points being scored. So it was like, you're going to watch an NBA game before you watch a college game because a college score may be 50-40. Right. Whereas the NBA game used to be 80-70. Now these high scores is coming because there are different incentives and people contracts to where they got to score more to make more, and it's more money. Watch this next year how this like they even officiating the game different so that they score more points. It's hard for you to play defense
because you don't have no more New York Knicks with Charles Oakley in them. You know?
Never play now.
Hey, we got 30 seconds. I want to touch some of these Facebook questions. Jared Dunn out of North Carolina, he says, damn, Craig Sager has been told he got 3 to 6 months to live. 30 seconds left.
That's sad. You know him from the Suits and him and Popovich going at it, man. And he said he gonna work until he can't work no more. And I appreciate his passion.
Yeah, that's real talk, you know. And I appreciate the same thing, you know. I'm sorry to hear that as well. And it's the same thing he said. You know him for the Suits, but he was also. He asks great questions, you know, on the sideline during the game. It's hard to ask a coach a question during the game because you're in the heat of the battle.
He was a bona fide journalist. That's why I'm saying that. He was a bona fide journalist. And that just, like he said, it's just live life to the fullest because you never know.
Absolutely.
That white man had flavor, man. but like what I will say on that, you know, you will lose everybody that you love in your life.
Wow, that's
deep. That's deep.
What college produces the most talent? Hurry up, 30 seconds or less.
Miami, Hurricanes.
Football, yeah. Kentucky basketball.
North Carolina.
The Pac-12.
You might be right on that.
Hey, this last question, I'm bringing you back next week if that's okay. I'm going to say this one, I'm going to go to this one. Cat Williams get beat up by a 15-year-old kid. What's your thoughts?
Brother, get some help, man. He's setting the black race back, man. He's funny to the motherfucker, though.
I don't think he got beat up. I feel like, you know, he stole first, but he kind of, his ground game, he got to work on his ground game.
Yeah, work on his ground game. I'm with G. Get some help, man. Get some help. That's all I'm going to say. Get some help.
Oh, man, this hood card got revoked, man. You got whooped by a kid, man.
Hey, see, now I'm finna show y'all the power of the media. Because if you watch the whole video, he was actually playing with kids. He was playing soccer. The kid was intimidating him. He said, I'm 42 years old. Like, back away. He was a grown-up. He didn't look high.
And
look at you saw his hair.
He was
that's just how his hair looked.
Yeah.
Nah, he looked high to me, man. He looked like he is coming.
He said he'd pass out if he do drugs. He said he don't do no drugs.
I don't believe me.
Hey, for us to just come in the studio and do this show like this is amazing. I don't think it ever been done to this caliber. I want to thank all your guys. Come on, you got to promise me next week on the air right now.
On the air right now, I'm alive to this day. I'm just waiting.
Make sure, shout out Trash Can Willie providing the music. Listen to the podcast hosted by Tony Smith every Thursday, 3:30 to 5 on the J King Network on your TuneIn app. Make sure you like us on Facebook. Till next time. Noah, you got something you want to say? Let's talk sports.
Let's talk sports. Peace.
Hey, Instagram, Twitter, and
Snapchat.
Yeah.
Get up on it.
Invest in your neighborhood. Invest in your neighborhood. Invest in your neighborhood. The government's not.